Hello guys, my name is Joyce and in this lesson we are going to talk about arithmetic operators and what are those operators. So we have here the addition, multiplication, subtraction, division, and then modulo. So I know you are not familiar for using a modulo right now, so I will explain it later. So for the addition, we are going to use the plus sign obviously, and for the multiplication, we're going to use the um, asterisk sign, and then for the subtraction, we're going to use the negative sign, and for the division, we're going to use the forward slash sign, and for the modulo, we are going to use percentage sign. All right, so let's stop this one to make it just visible to read, right? And then this one, and then the last one. All right. So those are the arithmetic operators that we are going to talk about in this lesson. So we are going to have an integer called num. So we assign two values just to show you different types of operators that we are going to use. So we are going to show the output of this variable num. So as we uh, know, we already know the addition, multiplication, subtraction, and division even if we are in grade levels, right? So we already know how to use those different types of arithmetic operators. So we are going to run this program. And obviously, 6 plus 2 is equals to 8. What about multiplication? So we multiply 6 times 2. So we got 12, I guess. It's 12. And then for the subtraction, we're going to subtract 6 minus 2. It is equals to 4, obviously. And then for the division, 6 divide 2, we get 3. All right. So how about modulo? So we are going to use the percentage sign here, right? Um, there you go. And then we build and run the project. Okay, and we get here a value of 0. So you will ask, what happened? How did this 0 come up after we use the percentage between these two values? Okay, so the modulo process is it will get the remainder right after you divide two values. Okay, so for example, 6 divide 2, you get 3, and there is no remainder. That is why when we run this program, we get the value of 0, right? What if we um, use or change this 2 to 4? So let's run the program and see the output. So I guess we got 2. So right after we divide 6 divide 4, that is obviously 1. And then there is a remainder right after you divide, which is the value of 2. Therefore, modulo gets only the remainder. That is the difference, right? Again, modulo gets the remainder right after you divide the values, right? Two values, all right? So how about what if we add different numbers with different arithmetic operators? For example, we have here 6 times 4, and then we add it to 8 times 2, and then we also add it to 9 divide 12. Okay, so we run this program, and then we got 40. So what happened? So how do we get 40 out of those equation? Okay, so for this operation, uh, we have what we call the um, PEMDAS. All right. All right. So PEMDAS is we have there the parentheses. We have exponent, then multiplication, division, addition, and then subtraction. Okay, so we use this operation. So we need to find numbers that is inside the parentheses, but for now we do not have any parentheses in this problem. And then we also do not have exponent values. So we are going to talk about this for the next videos. And for in here, we have multiplication, like 6 times 4 and 8 times 2. And we also have division, which is 9 divide 12. And we also have addition, which is the value right after you multiply and divide those numbers given. So the process is there is a priority. Okay? So the priority is the numbers that are inside the parentheses, the numbers with exponent, and the numbers between or the numbers left and right using this multiplication. So you need to multiply these two numbers first, and then you need to multiply these two numbers first, and then you need to divide these two numbers first before you add or sum up the total of those outputs. Okay, so let's try to use the let's build and run the program first and use a calculator for us to be able to know the right answer. So first is the program multiplies 6 times 4 is equals to 24, and then 8 times 2 is equals to 16. So we have 24 and 16, and then right after that, 9 divide 12 is equals to 0.75. Then after we get the current values, after we multiply and divide, the process is to add those values. So we have plus 24 and then plus 16. So we got 40. So you will ask again, the final output is 40.75, but the program shows only 40. It only shows 40 because the data type that we use in here is integer. As you remember, from our previous lesson, integer only accepts numbers that is stored in this specific variable with a whole number. So it it doesn't it does not include the remainders or the decimal places in this number or in this output. This is actually the total output out right from this equation. But in our program, because we use integer, it does not include the decimal places. All right. So what if we move this one inside the parentheses? So let's try this one and in this one. So what will happen to the specific output? Is it still remain, the output still remain 40, or it gives another value? So let's try to run this one. And then there you go. It gives 120. What happened in that equation? Okay, so as you can see, we prioritize the numbers inside the parentheses first. So first is 8 times 2 equals 16 plus 4 equals 20. And then we multiply it to 6. So 20 times 6 equals 120. And then we add the number right after we divide this 9 divide 12. So 9 divide 12 is equals to 0.75 plus 120, which is the number out of this equation. Okay? So if we sum up, we got 120.75. But like I said, this is an integer data type. Therefore, it only accepts a value with a whole number. It will disregard the decimal places. All right. So hopefully that is clear, and hopefully you know something new like modulo. And you will ask again, what if I wanted to add numbers from two different variables? So you can declare values. For example, this is num1, which is equals to 6. And then you also have num2, which is equals to 3. And then you want to output the value from num1 by adding num1 to num2. And then you will get the answer like 9. Okay. So 6 plus 3 is equals to 9. So you can add two variables also, or multiple variables, using different arithmetic operators. So again, the different arithmetic operators are addition, multiplication, division, subtraction, and then modulo. And there is a um, pattern or program that uses PEMDAS, which is the parentheses, exponent, multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. All right. So for the next video, we are going to talk about relational operators. So hopefully to see you guys on the next video. Have a nice day. Keep safe.